Hey everyone, this is Writing Sidesaddle.
Welcome.
I'm Lisa.
I'm Tammy.
We're cousins.
Who like to talk.
And laugh.
And laugh.
This is our first preview of the whole series of our podcast. I'm super, super excited about it. And we decided to do some snacks, is what we're calling them. They're kind of just previews as to what the podcast is about, to introduce our listeners, to really kind of have an idea of what to expect from us.
Right. So, Writing Sidesaddle, what is it? What are we doing? Why do we want people to listen?
Yeah. So this started out probably about 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago even. Tammy and I have been, we've been cousins our whole life. But we've been really close and really close friends and confidants for, 10 years?
Yeah, pretty close to that, years? I'd say, yeah. And how long have you been married? I feel like it was right after you got married.
How long?
7 or 8 years?
Been married. 8.5 years.
Well, there you go.
It was right around the time I was married.
Yeah.
And, through that 8.5 years of us becoming really close and talking through life stuff and trying to figure things out as we navigate through middle age as women, we decided that it was things we were talking about, so many things in our lives that you don't really hear about in general conversation or among friends who aren't the closest of friends. And we decided that it was important to start bringing some of that to the surface as life as a woman, right? The journey that we experience and have throughout our time being female on this planet.
Right. So even before that, before it became a serious idea, It was a joke.
That's true. It was.
We were in your kitchen. Both of our husbands were there, and we were, I don't even know what we were talking about, but we had made, ourselves laugh anyway. And we were saying things like, we're so funny, we should have our own show. And our husbands were like, yeah, great idea.
Have another one.
Yeah, right. Right. Let's not encourage, because they might really do it.
Right.
And then last year we were sitting around a bonfire, and it came up again. We were with a big group of friends, and it came up again in a more serious way.
Yeah.
And for the last solid year and a little, we've been working behind the scenes to put this together. So the idea, like Lisa said, is really about talking about all of the things that women do on their journey through life that we don't talk about. Maybe you talk about it with your good girlfriend. Maybe some of you talk about it with your mom or a sister or what have you, but it's not something that we collectively talk about. We kind of whisper about it in corners. We don't really talk about it.
And a lot of times, because we whisper about it in corners or have very limited conversation with a very limited audience, we don't often come up with solutions to things. It might be well, this happens to me, and you both kind of shrug your shoulders and you move on.
Right. We would like to further that conversation to, that's happened to me too, and this is how I've managed it. And if it isn't something that the two of us have any experience with, we'd like to bring experts in, people who truly know how to manage all of the phases of being a woman, whether it's physically or emotionally, and get some insight and lots of perspectives from a wide range of people, not just the two of us who think we're funny and smarty pants and whatever, but we are. Well, we might be that, but
we are funny and smarty pants, but we do need different perspectives, right? Because my experience isn't necessarily your experience, and it isn't, the woman walking down the street experience.
And we're never going to get everybody's experience. We're just not. But the idea was to have a safe place where we can talk about different things that are generally not talked about. As an example, I was explaining to my stepdaughter and her friend what is riding side saddle? And I said, when you're your age and they're teenagers, you're afraid to say the word period. Or not afraid, but embarrassed.
Right.
And the worst thing that could happen to you is somebody knows you're on your period.
Right.
And it's embarrassing and nobody wants to talk about it. And they are both with their heads down, nodding.
Saying, please stop talking about this.
I'm sure that was happening too. But they were both looking down at the counter and nodding their head yes.
Right.
Everything I said was true to them, the same as it was true for me. And I'm 51.
Right.
So, rewind almost 40 years, 35 years. Nothing's changed in that regard.
Agreed.
This is a human function.
Right.
That
One
all
arguably
women,
is probably the most important human function.
Really, it is. Right. We have so much shame attached to it. Why?
Good question.
And so I said to them, by the time you get to be my age, you have said the word period so many times that it's no longer a thing to be embarrassed about. You're not afraid of somebody seeing your tampon fall out of your purse or whatever.
Right.
Like,
I walk through Target with 5 bags of pads because you need different varieties and,
it's just
it
not a
doesn't
big
matter.
deal.
You
Right.
go up to the pimply-faced boy cashier, and he's 3 sheets of red, and you're like, "Meh, can I get a discount? I got a coupon for that.
Right. Like that.
Can you get a price check on that, please?"
Right. We'd like to ease some of that for our younger women. Maybe the more we hear about it and the more that society just talks about it, the less embarrassing it has to be.
Let's normalize it.
That's it.
And, we're talking, the example that you're offering is about the physical aspect of physically having a period.
Yeah.
But we're also talking about experiences that go through a woman's phases of life as well. One of the things that I connect this with so closely is the stages of being feminine, right? The stages of womanhood through maiden and through motherhood and through, they have a third or a fourth one sometimes. Sometimes it's called queen or enchantress. And then you navigate through crone. And each one of those phases, they have continuity, but there's unique experiences that you face as a woman through each one of those phases. So talking about all of those pieces, right? It might be physical. It might be emotional. It might be spiritual.
Might be relationships.
Amen.
Your body changes when you have a baby, but so does your relationship.
Yeah.
With your partner. So what do all of those things look like? This is what we want to talk about. Everything from prepubescent through, I don't know if I'm saying that word right, through menopause.
Yeah.
And literally everything in between. Women just in general, women in the workplace, women in positions of power in the boardroom, like we're all still having the same hormones and the same physical things happening. And how is it different for us?
Trauma, trust issues.
Oh gosh, all of that.
Societal expectations.
Yeah.
I pee myself when I laugh every time. Like those things, right? All of those things.
All of that. Right. Yeah, nobody told me I was going to pee myself for the rest of my life
Me
after I
either.
had kids.
Like, shit, don't jump.
Have babies. That'll be fun.
Don't jump.
Yeah, don't do that either.
Ever again.
Don't run.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway.
I don't have an answer for peeing yourself. But
I bet there is one, though.
I'm certain there is.
I bet there is.
We'll uncover it.
And that is part of this riding side saddle. We want to get to some of these things and find solutions to the problems that a lot of women have. In fact, most women probably have. We don't need to suffer. Like, you don't get a badge at the end of this journey for whoever suffered the most. That's not a thing. So let's be nice to ourselves and talk about some things and find some solutions. So we're hoping to just touch on lots of different things and do it in, a lighthearted, fun sort of way. And we hope you enjoy the journey right along with us.
It's Riding Sidesaddle.
Riding Sidesaddle.
Yeah.